the show!
Oh. You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Sorry to put you through that, but welcome to the Sleepy Hollow After Show Season 4, Episode 1. We are back.
Oh, yes.
I think we're back.
Is this the right music?
Yeah, this is the right theme song.
Yeah, because this is definitely what we watched. Is pretty
Wait,
sure.
Mark, is this Sleepy Hollow? No, this says The Flash. Oh, wait, cut the music.
Hold on.
Okay. Can we get the real theme song? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's.
Wait, but this doesn't make me think of what we just watched.
Because what we watched was, I don't think that was this.
No, that's not the. Here, can we cut the theme song again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with this episode?
That's our show, guys. No, oh my God. Hey, guys. Welcome to the after show for Sleepy Hollow, I think, Season 4, Episode 1, the reboot, which...
Yes.
We ended last season with a really cool cliffhanger of what it could be, and then they just decided to throw that story out for some reason.
They just dropped all that.
Zach couldn't take it anymore. Jackie couldn't take it anymore. But I'm back, because I'm a masochist. But I have high hopes. I do. I do really think that they can pull this out and make it good. Yeah, but joining me is another person. We salvaged the Strain after show together. Yeah. And now we've brought him back for Sleepy Hollow. This is Michael Young.
Hey, what's up, guys? You can find me anywhere, everywhere, on Twitter, Instagram, all that, at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. And,
of course, I'm Stephen Lemieux, at Stephen Lemieux, STPHNLEMIEUX. Thank you for tuning in, everyone in the chat. I know we got Lonavis back, ICHABOD72, Boo69Bs, Jian, Selwonk. We got a good number.
We got some folks. Yeah.
You know, we used to get about 150 people watching this live, and then they killed Nicole Beharie, and now we have 12 people watching live.
Man.
So... honestly, once this video ends, the comments don't save in the chat roll. I'll try to shout you guys out throughout the video, but let us know in the comments what you thought of the premiere of Season 4 and whether you're in. Because I know like there was a large controversy at the last season.
Yes, it was.
And unfortunately, after the finale, we couldn't go back on camera and like talk about all these hashtags that are popping up where people were leaving the show. People are like, I'm not going to watch this anymore.
They're like, I'm done. I'm finished.
And they kind of got rid of the entire cast except for Jenny and Ichabod. Apparently, we're going to be getting some Henry Parrish sightings this season, and then we're also going to probably see. Oh, I forgot his name, but there's a few characters that they're going to bring back from the previous season. Headless Horseman's one of them. So you know, I don't know. Zach Wilson will not be on the show. Matt Lieberman will not be on the show. Jackie Borowski will not be on the show.
Oh man!
Michael Young also does Jedi Alliance and stuff, so he's great. So you'll like Mike's personality, and we'll still throw in some Sleepington Abbey, and we might even do some fun skits. Like I tried to for the beginning. I wrote that in like 30 seconds though. Yeah, more like 2 minutes.
That was some rap skills right there.
Not my best work as a white guy.
But you held it down. It was nice.
Boo69B has just asked about Sleepington Abbey. Yes, we're going to do Sleepington Abbey. It might not be as good. As you may remember, I was not the best at Sleepington Abbey. I was kind of the worst. I would always.
But it was so entertaining watching your version, though. I think Sleepington Abbey was great because you had so many people in it. You know, you had like 4 different people doing their renditions of like the episode. Unfortunately, we're not in Sleepy Hollow anymore. Maybe that's why they changed it a little bit. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Like, I think moving forward, we have to like kind of. I know we're probably not going to, but we have to make a pact with ourselves to just forget that seasons 1 through 4 happened. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, or 1 through 3.
1 through 3, yeah.
Like, because this is kind of a hard reboot. You've all of our first impressions of this show were based on season 1, which was awesome.
Yes.
So
season
good.
1 locked me in.
And season 2 was terrible. And season 3 was like, it was just kind of like fizzling, like sizzling in a pan. Like,
well, there was no payoff with the main, it's a bald-headed guy, and I cannot think of his name right now.
Nobody remembers because it wasn't important.
There was no payoff with him.
Pandora was a cool character,
was kind of a payoff a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, you have to look at this as kind of like, hey, they're trying to recreate the series within the series. I think it might have been smarter for them to just say it's the sequel to Sleepy Hollow and change the name, because they're not in Sleepy Hollow anymore. You don't have Nicole Beharie anymore. You literally have Tom Mison pulling this entire ship now.
Yes.
Which, you know, if it becomes successful and if the writers actually do really well and the season gets good, which it could. I'm not discrediting that off a pilot.
We got what 12 more episodes?
Yeah, and this is technically a pilot. It's technically like, hey, let's rebuild everything and let's, just like they did in season 3 poorly, because they were still wrapping up storylines from season 2 and season 3. So, you know, I have hope. I have hope that they'll actually do it some justice, but you guys kind of have to forget about the fact that they killed off Nicole Beharie. You kind of have to forgive them for everything they did in season 3 to really dive in on 4. So let's just go in with a clean slate. This season so far, the first episode of season 4.
It's funny because the whole start of this video has been
no.
Like
It's just generic.
Yeah.
It's just really, really generic. Everything else was really cool. Like you look at season 1, like Benjamin Franklin and like the skulls, and like even in season 3, you're having to hang those skulls in the tower, 2 by day or 1 by night, whatever. Like that's cool. It's clever.
Yeah, you had like some lore in it and stuff.
John Wilkes Booth gave his body to a demon so he could kill Lincoln. It's kind of like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and the simplicity of the story. It's like, what if John Wilkes Booth was a demon? Ah!
Yeah,
like, it just kind of was. It was not clever. It was not clever.
Yeah, it was. I think the best way to describe this, because when I was live tweeting on Friday night, and when they walked into the conclave, and I knew once he was like, this is going to be the conclave of the greatest people. When they walked in, I was like, I know it's going to be like just nothing. When they walked in, I was like, is this Cisco and Caitlin, or is this Fitz and Simmons, or is this
any of the other 2 duos of the tech people?
I was like, I feel like we're watching Sleepy Hollow / The Flash, kind of, because they're giving him, now they're going to give him like his little team, and he'll be like the superhero sort of the show. You
know what the funny thing is though? What really kind of happened is they did a crossover with Bones and then just turned the show into Bones.
Oh man.
They're like, we're going to have the lab techs, like the chick from NCIS with the black hair who's like crazy, like that's going to be the red-haired girl who's just
the girl
like, I want to blow stuff up.
Kind of like Kate Mara at first. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not upset with it. It's just so different. Like, and you know what was weird to me is that I was actually excited for season 4 from the end of season 3. Like, because season 3 was just a wash. Like, it was kind of like at the end, they're like, guys, we're not going to win this. We just ended it, and then, like, here's a little clip of, like, what we're going to try to go for in season 4. And then season 4 opens, and Tom's in this room that's a jail cell. I'm like, okay, is he with the FBI? And they're showing him stuff. No, he's tied up. Oh, it's just a random guy. Okay, and then he gets out and he's like, I've worked with the FBI before. Wait, so we just glossed over that entire thing.
Well, also because the room that he was in looked so cheap. Like, because remember when they picked him up, it was like, you know, the SUVs, it was like a row of them. And you thought, oh, whoever's backing these guys have money. You know, this is like the government or something. And then he's like in a custodian closet with like an old school projector and this one guy. And apparently the rest of the facility was empty because he just hit him with the shoelace trick and he was out. So,
well, I mean, I get that because it was just a rich guy trying to get information. But what I didn't understand is that they had a really cool tag ending to season 3, which was he was going to work with the FBI. Now they decide to skip forward in the future over that, where he's got a haircut.
Yeah,
he's worked with the FBI in the past. He mentions it in passing to the new cop that we're introduced to, Janina Gavankar character, and he decides to say that, sorry, I'm a historical person for the Lincoln Memorial. I'm like, why are you saying that? You're an FBI agent. Like, you literally have worked with the FBI. Why are you...
You've been working with the FBI for, like, 2 to 3 years.
Like, you could just tell her you're a federal agent or something. Like...
And also, this episode was cliched up, too. Like, there were cliches like, okay, there's something weird going on. Let's split up, like, in the beginning. Then the whole, like, you're obviously not a threat to me, but I'm going to hold my gun on you for no reason thing. It was just... there were so many cliches in this, but it was okay. It was okay. Like you said, generic. It was okay.
It's just,
but I expected more because of, like you said, the threads that they dropped. I was like, oh, we're gonna pick up something on this. You know, maybe what's going on with Jenny and the guy's son. I cannot think of his name right now, but Jenny and him, or maybe he's somewhere else, or you know, we don't know how much time has passed. You know, pick up some threads. And we didn't really get to pick up those threads. We just kind of, it was just like, hey, he's in a room. It's a rich guy named Dreyfus, and something's going on.
Here's the thing. Either pick up some threads or pick up no threads. Don't do this. Yeah. Don't do this, or pick up all the threads or pick up no threads. Because they did this really weird thing this episode. And I really hope that this is just the first episode of them saying, like, hey, we're just going to introduce you all these characters, and that way you can just be in for the rest of the season, and we're not going to, like, be throwing them at you all the time. It's just going to be like, these are who these characters are, right? Well, here's my issue, right? So we have these new characters we introduced to. I'm trying to find the people, the name. I should have...
Jake is one. It's the... Thomas is the federal agent. The young lady that is kind of like our new Abby, sort of. Jake is the guy... And I cannot remember the young lady's name, who's the engineerish kind of mechanic young lady. I can't remember her name because, you know, she was like, I like things that you can touch, you can feel. I was like, well, you can feel a demon killing you. You can feel that. Oh, you definitely gonna feel that.
You gonna feel that. That's pretty funny.
But it's
so we got Tom Mison as Ichabod, of course. Janita Gavin Carr as Diana Thomas. Lindy Greenwood's, of course, returning.
Yes.
Jerry McKinnon as Jake Wells.
Yes.
Rachel Melvin as Alex Norwood. So Jake and Alex are kind of like techies. Una Yaffa is Molly Thomas. That's the daughter, little daughter. And then Jeremy Davies is Malcolm Dreyfus, which... You know, I'm not going to say Lex Luthor, but he's literally Lex Luthor.
He's Lex Luthor.
And then they made the kryptonite joke. I thought that was actually pretty funny, where he's like, yeah, it's going to be like his quick kryptonite. Oh, no, it's going to be his weakness.
And like, I got it. Oh. I like when he picks up like the references and stuff. So that was good.
That was like the one moment I was like, oh, this reminds me of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
But here, let me get back to my original point. This is what I didn't like. I didn't like that we already got Jenny back.
True.
And... I didn't like that it wasn't just Ichabod and New Abby, Diana, solving this whole thing this episode.
New Abby.
I think it should have just been the two of them. I think it should have just been the two of them.
Yeah.
Because what you do is you're introducing this new character, and we're supposed to, like, develop a connection with her, but she didn't really do anything this episode at all because all of the other characters. And then we're introduced to Rachel and... to Alex and Jake, who are like, okay, they can be useful, so they build the guns, they put the bullets and stuff, and then their whole job, they screw up, and Jenny has to do it. Yes. So we're already using an old character and making all these new characters just appear completely useless.
Yeah, and kind of like I was saying before, you know, before we came on, it's weird. Things happen, but nothing it's kind of like the plot didn't move forward, but things happened. You know,
this episode was like, hey, here are the characters.
Yeah.
It's literally like, here's a terrible villain, here are the characters.
Man.
Cool. Apparently Lincoln's head had a coin in it, which is ironic. And the guy wants to collect all the coins, and he's got a brand new Lincoln head slammer for his pogs.
Yeah, I really hope he works out because, you know, someone who is, I guess, like the eccentric rebel billionaire, you know, he has access. And, you know, of course, he has his kind of like secret goons that are like, do you want us to pick up Ichabod Crane? He's like, not yet. So hopefully he ends up being very, like a very good long-term villain. You know, someone who's very, like, almost untouchable, similar to the point, and since we're making the Luthor connection, similar to the point, like, in the comics when Luthor became president. You know, like, Superman couldn't really... He couldn't touch him because people trusted Luthor. But the difference is, you know, Luthor had character development for like ever. We only know this character for one episode. So, and what we know of him, he's a little over the top. But hopefully that works out because from what we've seen of him, he's kind of like one-dimensional. I'll say that.
Well, if there's anything we know, it's that Jeremy Davis is really awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I really hope that they let him be really awesome. Yeah, instead of just
like,
as
be the weird,
as Amy Gonzalez in the chat says, he's Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
Oh man, that's a good point.
We've kind of blocked out that movie ever happened.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. He's the meaner like version of like any rich like eccentric guy.
He's like the dick Steve Jobs.
Oh man.
So he's Steve Jobs.
Yeah, it's I really hope that works out, because if the villain can end up being three-dimensional and really powerful, and I mean, and not powerful as like he can fight, but powerful in the access and the influence that he has over, you know, the people in DC and stuff like that, this could end up being really cool. But so I just don't know.
Nancy Nikolai in the chat says, I'm going to be jumped on for this one, but I love the new girl and the new team. Also, I didn't really like Abby that much because her character was rake as far as she could go, and she knew it. Also, oh my god, it's the first freaking show. Give them a minute, would you?
Okay.
I mean, I can agree. Like, I don't dislike the new team.
Yeah.
I think the episode should have been written to actually make them appear useful, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I hate being introduced to new characters and then just feeling like the old characters are better, which they did by just bringing in Jenny again. Like, yeah. I feel like we should have had Alex and Jake being able to do something on their own. Mm-hmm. I think that they know that they're coming back for a season 4 and they have to raise the stakes because they want to keep their fans after the big move of getting rid of Nicole Beharie.
Yeah.
So you'd think that they'd want like a very Sherlock-esque cleverness level episode that kind of is like really cool and really gets people all in. And what we got was Demon John Wilkes Booth. They don't even dive into the whole history of the fact that people don't think it was even John Wilkes Booth who killed Lincoln.
Yeah.
There's a whole conspiracy out there that John Wilkes Booth of the time was actually somebody else who killed him and stole his identity to kill Lincoln and was somebody else completely. And John Wilkes Booth, the real one, was found like like cities over. So like there's so much history there
that they could have done.
They could have done something cool, but they're just like, nah, he like burned a flag and lit up a pentagram and turned into a demon. And then he decides that, okay, so there's a whole festival. There's a whole festival of like flags flying, red, white, and blue, right? Like everything. Yes. You're like, holy crap, there's going to be a massacre. Yeah. They raised the stakes. I was like, oh man, people are going to die.
It would have been nice for him to have dropped, like, say, 5 bodies, and then, you know, see like some pandemonium and stuff.
Something, right? Because like Supernatural's getting out of Sleepy Hollow. It's going to be in different places. Like this is raising the stakes. We're not getting an all-powerful god. We're getting multiple things that actually
can be like devious and
kill
stuff.
People. Like people died in Sleepy Hollow all the time. Like show us that. Like that's what was really cool about season 1 is like, you know, the burned ghost like tore up a car and killed everyone in it. Like that's terrifying. But no, what they do is they say he's going to massacre everyone. Then they go there and their whole plan is
nobody's in trouble.
You know what their plan is? Ichabod, pick up a flag and sing a song and lead it to a warehouse where we can shoot it with pennies. It's like, okay.
Now, the penny idea wasn't a bad idea.
No, that was cool.
I think it's because it was a soft payoff in a scene that we expected more from. Because seeing Jenny in the Terminator mode, like shoot the guy, I was like, oh yeah, Jenny's back. But then I was like, yeah, they kind of didn't do anything. Like they did make the gun for her, or I guess made the bullets for her. But I guess here's the issue with the comment is Abby. I don't think Abby was at the end of her character's development. But I will say this episode, it wasn't that this episode was bad. It was that this episode wasn't Sleepy Hollow. I think that's the issue that I have with it.
It was Sleepy Hollow light.
Yeah, this was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Flash or Arrow or Grimm, but just with Crane in it. You know, that's what it was to me. Not that it was a specifically bad show, you know, because it was something that I thought was okay, but I guess because of season 1 got me so hyped and so excited for what the future would be, this isn't the show that I know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, at least like in the first season, second season a little bit, they'd show where everything came from. Like they'd give you the backstory on things. They'd come up with ways for the characters to find certain things, as much as it sometimes seemed like, oh, look, we found this gold coin we needed to find or something. It at least gave you like a sense of like, okay, this was somewhere and they found it. In this one, it's like, we need a weapon that can shoot copper. Great, I have a minigun. I have a random freaking World War or Revolutionary War era minigun.
Well, I mean, it's cool for, I don't know. I know she makes stuff, and I know she has tons of things, but I guess if they didn't do things off camera, like if they showed her building things and putting things together, or even melting down the pennies, or, you know, just...
I was confused in, like, the second scene when Diane... Is it Diana or Diane? It's
I
Diana.
just call her Thomas.
Diana. So I was confused when she sees like the oyster shell stuff in the ground and a footprint, and for one, somehow knows it's Ichabod's footprint after they're like randomly far away from the Lincoln Memorial now, and then two, can somehow follow that all the way onto an airport and know exactly which sewer tunnel to go into to find where he was before.
When I was live tweeting, I was like, she is better than Batman with that boot print.
Right?
I was like, she looked at that boot print and she was like, airport.
She might as well have found the minigun on the way there, and, you know.
She really, but I guess they had to develop her fast, because they were like, okay, we know we're replacing Abby, so we have to throw someone in there, and we got to like make her really good fast. And she can be good, but it's maybe because they didn't show us seeing her be smart. She just looked like, there's a footprint, and then she just showed up there.
Yeah, she's like, yep, footprint. I know exactly where this is.
Yeah,
it's been covered for a long time in trees, but I've been there before.
Then she did the flashlight thing in the dark that I hate, and then she turned the flashlight off so she couldn't be seen, but it's like the flashlight's already on. Then she turned the flashlight back on. I was like, if there were bad guys in there, they were like, hey, there's a flashlight. It's probably a dumb policeman or something there, and I'm going to shoot him or her.
But like, back to my original thing with the massacre, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The non-massacre.
You have thousands of people there all wearing flags and stuff. Mm-hmm. So why is it going to chase Ichabod? That's my thing. Is like, there's so many people there. Why is he chasing Ichabod? Is because he's singing the song? Like,
yeah,
I would have liked to see, like, okay, they have to go break into the Lincoln Memorial and steal that flag that was there on display because it's the original one, and it like will call the ghost more strongly. But no, it's like they just have a random fake-looking flag, and how is that going to stand out when there's thousands of people singing songs and wearing stuff? Like, I would have liked to see the ghost like stalking some girl in like an American flag bikini as like a joke. That would have been funny. I don't know, like.
Now I will say from the chat, there's a couple of people talking about the new, I guess, the new library or the new layer or the new hangout, the new digs. And someone said, what do you think is, what is it? Boo 69Bs. Do you think the library is better than the archives? It depends. Like, the library seems like it was too easy. The archives was something that they found, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, the archives were something that they kind of like, they found as part of another, like, piece to beat. What were they fighting that time? I can't remember.
No, the archives was found because it was the old library that they were going to tear down, and then they saved it. And it was all about Sleepy Hollow specifically, and things that happened near there in the war, and some war books and stuff like that. This one's different because it's like all the leftover stuff from George Washington's agents throughout the years. Yeah. But no government facility is going to like let them keep open a really nice library like that. Like,
yeah, I thought it was a lot nicer than it should have looked, but I was just like, okay, whatever. There were so many things that I wasn't happy with already that I was just like, let the library slide. I was just like, because when I saw Jake come in, I was like, is he Cisco? And then I just left the whole library thing alone. But I do like that he does have kind of like I guess a base of operations, but it just, once again, it kind of seemed like something that would be done on the Flash instead.
So what was the point of the office if they have that library? Like, why would they ever be in the office?
Good
Internet,
point.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was also kind of weird because, like, you know, back when we had Frank Irving, Orlando Jones, like, it was a 4 or 5 episode arc for him to like come to grips with the fact that this stuff exists. And in this episode, we have 4 new characters that all just like go from not believing to believing in like a heartbeat. I get that
Jake is the true believer.
Yeah, Jake's the true believer.
Like the archetype, the horror story archetype. There's always the true believer.
Alex just wants to blow stuff up.
Yeah. She just likes blowing things up and building things. So
Diana's just like somehow in, but she's coming to grips pretty quickly.
Yeah, she's your standard, your standard cop. Like, she's good. She's been in the service. She's been in the FBI or Homeland, I think she said, for X amount of years. So, she's your standard, good cop. She's been around. She trusts the regular world. She doesn't know about the extra dimensions or supernatural or whatever like that. But she took on the demon thing fast.
Yeah.
Like, even though, I guess she did see a demon, so I guess she has to believe it now. But it just, Frank had to like deal with that, and unfortunately,
well, it's just
she was just like, okay, there's demons.
Frank had to deal with that, but like Frank was like, at first didn't want to shoot the person because they thought it was a real person. Yeah. And this one, she's just like all in, like, hey, get the minigun, let's blast this mofo away, even if it's a guy in the mask. We don't care, just blow him the hell away. He killed my partner.
And then at the end, even though they technically got the guy that killed her partner, she somehow wants to stay around for the people that killed her partner. And I'm like, well, I guess you could say the people that put this in motion. But one, don't you have regular job duties at your normal, like, cop job? And then when is that going to leave you time to go on the Ichabod mysteries? But, of course, writing-wise, they're just going to make that happen.
It's another thing that they didn't split the team up enough this episode in terms of like different actions. Like the only split we have was when Jake and Alex are doing their own thing with the bullets, and then Ichabod and Diana are doing other stuff like to lure the thing there. But it was weird because it was edited in a way that you didn't see time moving.
Nah.
Because like usually we're used to it where it looks like, okay, Ichabod could have been in the lair for like 10 hours trying to find one book that like talked about this specific demon. It felt like this one, he just picks up a book. Oh, it's talking about the demon.
There's text behind the text. Cool. Like, this is the perfect place. And it's like cataloged perfectly. And she was just like, oh, give me that bucket of pennies. I'm going to make bullets. And then next thing you know, he's at the so-called massacre. And, she did read the newspaper and she was like, oh, tomorrow it's going to be a massacre or something like that. But it did. I think we should have saw them, maybe this team building the bullets, or I guess molding the bullets or whatever, and then this team reading stuff, and then, maybe like shoot a couple rounds to like test to see if it's hard enough to penetrate or something. I don't know, something that showed them doing things.
Yeah. So one of the things that I can forgive them on for that though, because everything that I hate about the whole John Wilkes Booth storyline is that it's just so fast and just like doesn't matter really at all, except for a partner getting killed. But they do kind of throw it away in the end where the guy's like, they just killed John Wilkes Booth, the demon. And he's like,
it doesn't
it's
matter.
just a side effect of opening the thing anyway. I don't give a whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay, so it wasn't really even supposed to be a big deal. But it was very like original 60s Batman where he lifts the tarp and you see the Lincoln head there and he's like, it's a good thing I took the Lincoln head, Robin.
When he pulled that tarp.
Oh, I knew it was going to be there.
I knew the head was under it, but when he pulled that tarp, I was like, man.
You're like, Jeremiah Springfield.
I was like, what door did they bring that through? Just
rich people.
Yes. It's like, he's rich, he can do it. Continue.
He's like, finally, I have a new hood decoration for my Mercedes.
Yeah. I was like, even the doors they walk through or the elevator and stuff, I was like, so how'd they get it down? And I was just like, forget it. Don't ask any questions. Just watch the rest of this episode.
So meanwhile, Dreyfus is dealing with a business acquisition where he's trying to acquire another business before this moon for a ritual or whatever.
Yeah.
And he warns the guy he's gonna buy his business or he's gonna kill him. The guy doesn't sell it, so then he sends his minion, which we don't know if it's his minion or if it's like somebody who's working for him.
A partner or
it's kind of like a weird demon guy who's like, yo, what up? I'm a weird demon guy.
Because he has like orange eyes and stuff, so we know he's definitely not human. He goes and simulates an animal attack on this guy, and of course, immediately we get the thing that I love, another cliche, news exposition. That's right. It was like today such and such died and it was an animal attack. He was a final holdout on the sale of such and such. And guess what? They sold it.
Which Green Lantern ring is orange?
I cannot remember. Yellow's fear, green is I cannot think of what orange is. But it's just a trip that.
Orange is Agent Orange.
Oh wow.
Orange is avarice and greed.
Got it.
Ooh, thank you very much, Mark. Holding it down. Keep
Interesting to know.
But it's funny that they just wiped that clean extremely fast. Like, hey, look, we got the head. We killed the guy. We don't know. It would have been nice to see the guy get killed or something, like see that plan in motion. I think, yeah, the off the screen stuff didn't sit well with me. I would like to see, like, you told me something cool happened. Show me that cool stuff happen.
Yeah.
Like, show me that guy get killed. You know, maybe pleading for his life. Like, I promise I'll sell. Too late or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like that should have definitely been in there.
Yeah,
completely.
like something like him dying. I think seeing him get murdered, seeing the bullets get made may have gone a long way to be like, oh, like you built these characters up a little bit more instead of just like the rebel billionaire. Maybe he's like deeply evil or something. And then, you know, these guys are like, oh, they're super proficient. Like they're molding these bullets and they're like, you know, putting
like
hexes in them or something.
Yeah,
or,
have a scene where Jake's like carving the symbols into the bullets, and she's like building them in again.
Yeah, because
like,
they made the statement about the metallurgy and stuff, and it just...
It's like you can't have Mythbusters without watching what they're actually doing to build it. Bruce69B says, what did you think of Ichabod saying that he watches Downton Abbey? I think that was definitely a direct correlation to our after show and how much we referenced Downton Abbey here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just want to preface this that if you like the after show, please go to iTunes and search Sleepy Hollow. We're one of the first podcasts up there. It's the AfterBuzz TV Sleepy Hollow after show, and if you leave a review and a 5-star rating, we will give you a shout out on the show. When did the last episode of Sleepy Hollow air?
Man, who knows?
I got it right here. Give me one sec. February 23rd, 2015. Wait, wow, it skipped a whole like 2 years. Wow, time has flown by.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's season 2. Okay.
Nah, okay.
Google just doesn't show season 3. Got it. Okay.
That shows how bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Google was like, forget this.
Cool. So our last review was from Lana Vase, who says that was a finale. See you guys next time on other panels and next season if there is one. That was our last iTunes review, but now you can be the last one by giving us a comment on iTunes. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up on the video if you do right now, if you're watching right now. Also, please leave a comment after the video ends, because that way we can reply to your comments.
Yes,
the chat
and I
roll
will
is
be
not
in
saved.
I will be in the comments semi-daily, talking to you guys, especially because, you know, I want to see your thoughts. I'm interested to see how you guys really feel about this episode.
A lot of us in the chat says Google has taste. Oh, that's pretty good. If you guys haven't been paying attention to social media, there's an account on Twitter. I wish I could find it. Let me look it up. There's an account that's been tweeting out pictures from like the special effects.
Oh.
So they've been like tweeting out like creature special effects on Twitter, and I will find this right now for you. But you can kind of see some of the upcoming creatures that you'll be probably expecting soon.
Okay.
And it is kind of cool. It worries me a little bit, because what I don't want to happen is to become just CGI.
And also I don't want this show to become Monster of the Week. Even though there are elements in all of the seasons of Monster of the Week.
I liked Monster of the Week. I just want a good story behind it.
Yeah, we had a deeper thread behind the Monster of the Week. So the Monster of the Week was okay because we were always touching on that deeper thread. And that's another thing. I don't think we really laid a thread for an overarching story in this season, except that there's a rich guy that has something. Ichabod has something he wants, some information that he needs or something. And he has all the access in the world to pick him up, but he won't. So that's all we got. We didn't get any motivations from him. And Jenny kind of just popped in. It was almost like, it's weird. It's like Jenny made a cameo in her own show.
Yeah, kind of felt that way. He left her a voicemail earlier in the episode.
It's like, hey Jenny, what you doing?
Hey girl.
Some new people.
I know your sister's dead, but I'm still here for you. Let's go see Hamilton sometime.
Let's go see Hamilton. I promise.
I'm not giving away my shot.
I'm not giving away my shot. Oh, man. But Jenny came in, and they had a scene together that brought, due to their history, brought a lot of weight back to the episode. you were like, oh, okay, cool. I feel at home with these two because of the history that they share. So I like the scene with them two. But then once you went back to, it was funny because you get the stark contrast. You have this scene with him and Jenny, and then you have a scene with him and Thomas, and it was just like, I don't know, this new girl, I just don't get it. And it's just, but hopefully she'll grow on me, and they'll really build her in the next episode, and I'll be like, hey, she's great. But today she was just like generic cop person, and you know, you have Cisco and Caitlin. And the generic layer.
It almost felt like they were just like, let's take Ichabod and put him in Lucifer. Because like Lucifer has a lot of these same elements. You have the strong female detective with her child. You have an ex-husband in Lucifer, so maybe we'll be getting Ginny Gavakar's ex-husband or something in this.
Please, no. Let's keep this story tight and keep it good.
Don't get me wrong, Lucifer is a great show. If you're not watching Lucifer, you should, because it is pretty awesome.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I'm giving this episode I'll watch next one.
Yeah,
like I'm still gonna watch because I think that they really didn't touch on anything big. Like the big storyline pieces that we got, because we didn't really go on order today because we were obviously just coming back to discuss everything. Is that coin, like, what is that seal? Yeah. And what is that seal gonna do? Is it gonna bring back Nicole Beharie? Hopefully, probably not. But
probably not.
Are all of the monuments in Washington gonna contain one of those seals, and are they gonna start taking down the monuments? Like, is that how we're gonna kind of get the spirit world and the real world interacting, and more people becoming aware of this? How is Ichabod gonna escape the clasps of these guys who are like watching him and then can take him in at any time in their mind? Is Rich Dude gonna buy a new?
And actually, a button scene would have been great. Since they're already, you know, cribbing stuff from other shows, might as well crib that from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. A button scene of him with that big coin thing, you know, of Dreyfus with the big coin would have gone a long way to be like, oh, okay, he has a bigger plan than just like, I'm the rich evil guy. But we shall see.
But he did say that he'll kill as many people as possible to get them. So hopefully,
no, that's good. That's good.
So hopefully, he'll just.
Well, I mean, that's bad for real life, but it's good for TV.
I hope he's just gonna start going ham. Like, I'd like to see him turn into kind of the, I think it was Grayson was his name in Burn Notice.
Oh, okay,
the dude who was just like insane and would just do secret agent spy stuff. Yeah, he'd just do whatever to get his way. Like, I want to see this villain do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be cool if he's like literally like, hey, they hid it in this place. Okay, cool. Just drop a bomb on it.
Yeah.
And just like wipe out everyone.
But when you do, you have to show the bomb be dropped and see the fallout from that.
Yeah, like I want
kind of like we should have saw the Japanese owner get killed, because that would have gone a long way to build Dreyfus's character.
I need like some. You remember The Patriot with Mel Gibson?
Oh,
when they burn the church and the people are inside.
Wow, yeah.
Like, we need something that like raises the stakes to make this guy really evil. We need something like, you don't have to show the people being charred like in The Patriot, but spoiler alert. But The Patriot's really sad.
Spoiler alert.
But you need the sadness in this show.
Yeah.
And
to show some stakes, the dire situation.
Them killing Nicole, them killing Abby did not feel like stakes, and it didn't feel dire. It just felt stupid.
Yeah, because she technically, we don't know if she really died or not.
She died of being written off the show.
Yeah.
And in the show, it was obvious that she died from being written off the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my god, she died from being exploded. It was like the lone guy in Doctor Who who decides to stay back in the damn ventilation shaft to save everyone, only to not really accomplish anything except dying. That was Abby's death. She was an extra. Her death was like an extra in Doctor Who.
Wow. Yeah, it's... She deserved more, man. I gave her a shout out when I was live tweeting too. I was like, "Yo, we miss you, we love you." It's like, I don't know what she's doing now. She's probably getting ready to work on another project or something. But it's, after watching this show, seeing how they built it, I'm surprised that Tom is still there, because Tom is really doing some heavy lifting in this episode. Like, Tom really makes this episode good. If it wasn't for Crane, this episode would have been in trouble. In real trouble.
Let's go into predictions.
Cool. Let's go in and hit it. Let's get this predictions popping.
Nobody's in the booth, so okay.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Just giving Mark some crap.
I forgot it was turned down. My bad.
So let's talk about. Is her name Molly?
The girl?
Yes,
the
Molly.
daughter. Maybe. Yeah.
All right, so there's just going to be so many theories about this girl all season, and it's going to be like the most simple one probably. But I want to go off the deep end because I enjoy just doing, like, predicting crazy stuff. I think that Molly's not the only person that's inflicted with this and is drawing pictures of Ichabod.
Okay.
I think that tons of people were inflicted with this. And, like, there's people all across the country who are, like, drawing pictures of Ichabod. Okay. And that it's not that Abby is reincarnating her. I don't think she's the new witness. I think it's like an interpretation of like something working through people to let whoever the new witness is know who the new witness is.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's like fate's way of raising awareness across the world to whoever could be the second witness so they can get a hint and find out who that person is and find out who Ichabod is to find Ichabod. So I don't think it's just her daughter. I think tons of like different patients suffering from different things are drawing Ichabod everywhere as like a signal in the dark waters to try to find the other witness.
All right, with me, I think Molly is either one of two things. She's either A, the witness, or B, she's been possessed since she's not spoken. And we don't know what she's possessed with yet.
Do you think it's Henry Parrish?
That could be cool.
Mr. Ichabod's son?
That could be cool, but like possessed with something that's very, very serious that they're gonna have to deal with in, say, like episode 7, you know, like, or something like that. You know, possessed with something super serious, not just like a 1 episode throwaway, like something super serious that happens in the middle of the season that, you know, they have to deal with on top of crazy billionaire. And I don't know, maybe something happens where he, you know, extracts the demon from her or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's a demon. I think it's something cool. I hope it's something cool.
Please.
Throwing another off-chance prediction in here. You could say... Oh, this is like totally out of left field, but you could say that the rich guy also has a daughter or has somebody who he's close to or his wife or something that is experiencing the same thing. And that's how he became aware of Ichabod in the first place, is that his wife randomly stopped talking and started drawing pictures of Ichabod, and that's how he got into this.
Ah, okay.
And that's how he started getting like obsessed upon these coins that might be able to fix his wife or something. So maybe he's trying to, like, what if the stones are like segments of something that can summon another witness or something? I don't know. Like, I think giving him a reason
because the stones are definitely important in some type of way.
Yeah. So... I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a few episodes before we know the overarching theme. I don't know if they're still going with the 7-season plan. I don't know if they're like going to be like, oh, let's just make this the last season, or hey, let's just make this story. And
they only have 13 episodes, so they need to like kind of get to it.
I don't know. Well, let us know what you guys think. Tweet us throughout the week. Also, leave that comment on iTunes so we can give you a shout out next time. Also, comment on the video after the stream has ended. Otherwise, we won't see your comment. We have 3 minutes left, so let's get into Sleepington Abbey. I heard Ichabod Crane did not like the performance of Hamilton performed by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I heard that a young woman by the name of Thomas does not believe in demons?
Scandalous!
Oh, scandalous!
Has she not seen John Wilkes Booth?
Has she not understood the way that Lincoln passed?
I heard that National Treasure 4 is about somebody stealing the head of Lincoln Memorial and letting out a demon, John Wilkes Booth, who will be killed by a machine gun by an old character from season 3.
Oh, scandalous!
So scandalous!
Murder under the warehouse, or is it in the warehouse? Jenny, I found that she was in the Himalayas drinking milk from a yak.
Oh, scandalous!
Oh, scandalous!
How does a bastard orphan son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? Oh, that's the wrong show! I'm sorry! Scandalous!
Oh, scandalous!
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHENLEMIEUX. Tweet me throughout the week, let me know what you think. Also, joining me for this season, we have Michael Young. Where can we find you on Twitter?
Hey guys, how's it going? You can find me at OneYoungster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
Oh, that was it. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It.
We will see you guys next week for the Sleepy Hollow After Show. Peace.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Good night, sleepyheads, if you're still watching.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.